Hello there, my name is Susan Anders and I'm an elite green status presenter with Younique. So most people that are interested in direct sales or in network marketing want to know why you signed up, why you're still doing this. And in order to tell you why, I need to tell you a little bit about my story. So that's what this is, and I'm going to try to keep this as brief as possible. So I'm a Younique presenter, and I have been with Younique for about 1.5 years. And my story is not rags to riches. I had, I was a stay-at-home mom, and my husband has an amazing job. He's been with the same company for 30 years, and we decided when we had kids that I would stay home. And we sacrificed a lot in the beginning years because even though he had been with his company for a long time, we still weren't making, a two-person income in order for me to stay home. So things were tight those first couple of years, but again, we weren't this isn't a rags to riches story. So my story starts about 4 years ago when I had a meniscus repair done in my knee, and everybody told me, oh, after you have that done, you're gonna feel great, and you're gonna be a new person. And now, keep in mind, I was a person who was very active. I wasn't necessarily somebody that worked out, but I was always on the go. I was always involved in my kids' schools. I planned golf tournaments. I was on the PTA and the PTO and the homeowners association, and I did a lot. I volunteered a lot. I was always busy, busy, busy. And about 4 years ago, after I had that meniscus repair, I started to feel worse. I started to be really tired. My knee never recovered the way I wanted it to, or that I was told would happen. I started to get aches all over, joint pain. I knew something was wrong. And so this went on for a while, and fatigue was one of my big problems. I was always tired. I would get up in the morning and have my cup of coffee and I'd just be dragging. But I would keep going because that's the kind of person that I've always been. So about 3 years ago, I went on a trip to Europe. It was a fabulous trip. It was a once-in-a-lifetime trip. It was amazing. I went with friends, and I was in Budapest and Prague, and when I came home, I expected to be tired. I expected to have, time zone change and all that. I expected to be tired for about a week, but my fatigue just got worse and worse and worse, and I was at the beach with my kids, and I couldn't even get them up in the evening to go for a walk on the beach, which we used to do all the time. I could barely make dinner every night. Sometimes we would just order pizza. I would tell the kids, just order whatever you want. I was limping all the time. It hurt to walk. I had a hard time walking more than, 10 minutes. My feet hurt. Everything ached. And I told my husband that I wanted to cut my legs off. They hurt so bad. At night I couldn't sleep. I was miserable. And I knew something was wrong. I didn't know what it was. My worst symptom was headaches, and it took all my energy every day to hold my head up. My neck just ached and everything was horrible. So I got home from the beach and I told my husband, I think something's seriously wrong with me. I have no idea what. I think I'm dying. I don't know what's wrong with me. So I began about a 6-month journey of going to several doctors and specialists and trying to figure out what was wrong with me. And I didn't have cancer. I didn't have fibromyalgia. They wanted to diagnose me with that and chronic fatigue syndrome, but they weren't really sure. And I knew that that wasn't what it was. So I kept digging and kept trying to find out. Okay, so fast forward 6 months. And I was finally diagnosed with chronic Lyme disease. They think that I had had it since I was a teenager, and that little things over the years had just kind of accumulated, and it was to the point where my immune system was shutting down. And I also had 2 co-infections, which I had never heard of. One was Babesia, which is a malaria-like parasite. and Bartonella, which is kind of like cat scratch fever. And those are two things that you never really get rid of. You can treat them, but you never completely get rid of them. So I started treatment, and I joined every group on Facebook that I could find to find out more information about it. I wanted to know how I could beat it, how I could feel better, what treatments were the right treatments. It's a very controversial disease, and there's a lot of information out there, and I am one of those people that I need to fix things. So I went on a mission to find out how I could heal myself and how I could get better. And through a Facebook group, I met several women that had Lyme disease. And one of those women was Valerie Tunks, and she is now a Black status leader with Younique. Over the next probably 6 months, once I started treatment, I got worse. When you start treatment, you start a heavy dose of antibiotics, you feel worse. You feel like you're dying. Seriously, I would just curl up on the couch with a blanket around me, and once I would take my kids to school, I would just come back and just lay on the couch and surf on my phone for information. I would gather information. I would try to read books. My brain wasn't working right. When you start treatment, you have what's called a Herxheimer reaction, which is die-off. So you're killing all these parasites and germs in your body, and your body can't get rid of them. So you have this buildup of toxins in your body, and you feel horrible. And that's pretty much how I felt for about 3 months was the worst, and then about 6 months. And then after about a year of treatment, I started to feel much, much better. And now I'm 90% better. I'm still in treatment, but I'm like 90% better. I just have a few little symptoms that are lingering. And part of treatment was doing a lot of supplementation, and learning about my genetic mutations, and doing the 23andMe DNA report, so I could figure out what my body needed, and that was a huge piece of healing. But throughout that time, I also found out that my kids had it, that I had given it to them in utero. So both my kids had had issues over several years, and I couldn't ever figure out why. Why was my son fainting all the time? Why did he have constant skin rashes? Why did my daughter's scoliosis get worse when she had a back brace for 2 years? Why did she have so many learning issues? Why did they both have brain fog constantly? Lots of little things, and I found out that they had it too, and they began treatment. So while all this was going on, I had met Valerie Tunks in this Lyme disease group, and she and I became friends, and we chatted, and we actually met for the very first time when we did a 5K for Lyme disease in Virginia. And I met her husband and her kids, and we were both pretty sick at the time, but excuse me, she had just started her business with Younique, and I had no idea what Younique was. I'd never heard of it, no idea anything about their products. But she told me on her Facebook page about this amazing mascara, and I bought it and I tried it after I was kind of freaked out about it because it was 2 tubes and I didn't know what these 2 tubes were all about. But I tried it and I loved it, and I ordered another one. And I think, a few months later I had ordered some lip glosses and a couple other things, and I really liked them, and I saw what was happening with her. Here she was, sick with Lyme disease like I was. She had 2 little kids at home. My kids were teenagers at the time, and she was doing really well with her business, and it was all online, and that really appealed to me because I had been in direct sales before, and I knew that, packing up and going and doing parties was not going to be something I could physically do at this point in my life. So I was looking for something, and I call it my beautiful distraction, because I was looking for something that would keep my mind off of Lyme disease. I was at a point in my life where 3 of us were in treatment. I spent almost all my time either researching, filing medical bills, making appointments, making lab appointments, taking my kids to get lab work. I mean, it was and filling pill containers. That's all I did, because we take between 40 and 60 pills a day now. So I was filling pill containers every week for 3 of us, and it was time consuming and it was exhausting, and I needed something that was positive and good. And this Younique opportunity kind of fell in my lap. And it was amazing because I remember thinking, this is such a beautiful distraction for me. I have no idea if I'm going to run it as a business. I just need something to do. So first, it gave me confidence. I didn't know much about wearing makeup. I wore makeup, but I didn't wear a lot of it. I didn't know what highlighting and contouring was. I didn't know how to make an ombre lip. I didn't know how to do any of that stuff. So it gave me a ton of confidence. And I had never taken a selfie before in my life, yet alone done a video. So huge confidence builder. Second, I had this whole network of Y sisters, friends, that all of a sudden were my support system. They were helping me figure out how to work my business. We were helping each other. We were going to trainings together online. So we would, lay on the couch and watch these videos and chat with each other while it was going on. It was amazing. I had this whole support system, and it was fun, and I was just having a great time. And next thing I know, I had a team. I had no intention of having a team, but next thing I knew, people were signing up because I was having fun. And I really enjoyed that. And I enjoyed learning how to become a leader. And I'm still learning how to become a leader. You never stop learning. But more importantly, it was a huge distraction for me from my life that was, I was a nurse to my kids. I was a patient. I was always feeling bad, and I was like dwelling on it. And that's not the kind of person I wanted to be. I wanted to be happy, and I wanted to be healthy, and being with a company that makes you feel like you're in the right place, and having confidence and being happy and being positive and being uplifted and empowered every day around women is so great for your health, your mindset. You're just like, it was an amazing transformation for me. So, what my why was I wanted a distraction. I wanted to feel pretty. I wanted to wear makeup and feel beautiful. And what ended up happening was I found myself again. I wasn't Susan with Lyme disease anymore. I was Susan, this beautiful, confident person that wasn't just a stay-at-home mom taking care of sick kids and being sick myself. I had been a stay-at-home mom for 15 years, and I had kind of lost myself. I was a mom, and I was a wife, and I was a patient, but I wasn't me anymore. And that's where Younique became almost like a lifeline for me. And not only has it changed the way I feel and my confidence, and do I feel more uplifted, but now I get to do that for other women, and that is what has kept me doing this for a year and a half now. I have a team that is amazing, and I am uplifting them and teaching them how to be a leader, and teaching them how to have confidence and take selfies and wear makeup and just feel good about themselves. And that is priceless. And that is why I will continue to always be a Younique presenter. This company has meant so much to me, and it really is a mission-driven company that their mission is first, and their mission is to uplift and empower and validate women, and that's exactly what they do, and that's what we as presenters do. So that is my why, and that is my story. And as I said, it's not rags to riches. I was just a housewife who fell ill and didn't feel well and just needed a distraction. And that's exactly what this company has been for me. And it's still my beautiful distraction, but it's become so much more than that for me now. And I will forever be grateful to Derek and Melanie for starting Younique and for allowing me the opportunity to be a part of it. And I will forever be grateful to Val Tunks, who introduced me to the mascara and the lip gloss, and that showed me that anything was possible. So I hope you enjoyed my story. If you would like to reach out to me, feel free to friend me on Facebook under Susan Meintzer Anders, or on my business page, which is the Sparkle and Shine Lounge. And you can contact me through email at or on my website, sparkleandshinelounge.com, or through email at sparkleandshinelounge@outlook.com.